Gordon Ramsay's Humble Pie is his autobiography written in 2006. There is a lot of good stuff in this. I'm not really big into reading autobiographies. I don't often, but there's a lot to be learned from them, and there's a lot of good things to be learned from Gordon Ramsay's story, from his upbringing, the struggles and challenges he went through, to the start of his career, to how much went into it. And he is an exemplar of Napoleon Hill's philosophy of success. So let's get into it. I'll tell you my favorite parts, what I liked about it. There was some stuff that I didn't like so much about it. But let's get into it. I'll tell you all about it. Let's go. The first major thing to note about Gordon Ramsay's story is that it really showed me how much he put into his craft. Like, he had a solid, definite purpose for the majority of his life. You can see here that the beginning of the book are, about his experience with his dad, his start in soccer, or football as he calls it. But this is it. This little part here, the bulk of the book is his definite purpose in life. Of course, there's personal things like his experience with his brother, who was, or he probably still is, a heroin addict. But the bulk of it is his definite purpose, is him going the extra mile, him doing what needed to be done to get where he is today, right? Because often that's what success takes. It takes work, right? It takes a lot of work, and it takes a vision, which Gordon Ramsay absolutely had. Indeed, Gordon's story is inspirational because it shows that you can start off in life with an abusive father, with less than ideal situation, challenges and struggles and pain and suffering. And with enough work, with enough persistence, with enough effort, you can turn it into something profound. And that's absolutely what he did. So it was very enjoyable to read that story, that arc, where he's starting from basically, he could have been a no one, like his brother ended up being, if he chose that, but he didn't. He chose to succeed, to thrive, to persevere, right? So anybody can do it, right? Like Napoleon Hill says, you can do it if you believe you can. And absolutely, that's what you get out of this book. It's very motivational. It's very inspiring. It's just a great story all around. In addition to being a great story, as most autobiographies, this has a section with pictures from his upbringing. Essentially, he starts out, they picture him as a kid, and here's one with him wearing his first chef whites. And then another thing I really like about this is chapter 14 is called Family, and it's one that was added after the first edition. So essentially it's talking about the impact Humble Pie has had on him and his family and his experience in life. And some of this stuff is really interesting because it really did impact his relationships. Unfortunately not with his brother, who's the addict, but with his mom. He found out he had a stepsister who came forward. It's just a great chapter. It probably is my favorite in the book, actually. Now, the writing in this book is good. It's simple, it's concise, it's clear. However, one thing that really tripped me up quite a bit was all the British slang of this. Now, Gordon Ramsay is Scottish, right? So he uses that, the British English, and as somebody from the United States, I was not familiar with the vast majority of it, so I had to stop constantly and look up terms. And I used to do that early on in my school career. I haven't done that in a while, but I had to for this one. Also, because it's Gordon Ramsay, he tends to use very vulgar language at times, like dropping F-bombs and stuff. I'm not a huge fan of that language. I understand there's a point, it emphasizes things, but just know that it is in this book. Overall, Humble Pie was a great autobiography. I would recommend it to and well, not just fans of his, because like I don't even cook. I don't like cooking. I only recently got into watching his shows, but as a person, Gordon Ramsay is inspirational, and he is worthy of an analysis. Now, you won't get too much into his psyche with this. I mean, I was a little disappointed by that. But what you get is helpful, right? You can kind of see what he did and integrate it into yourself. So definitely go out, pick this one up. It's a fairly quick read. It's 320 pages, but you know, his writing is very quick and concise. So it's not a long one. It's not a tough read by any means. So if it sounds like something you'd like to check out, or if you're a fan of Gordon Ramsay, definitely go out, pick this one up.